Welcome to the Art of Money podcast with Art McPherson.
And thanks for checking out the Art of Money podcast. My name is Mark Owens alongside Art McPherson and Luke McCarty. All the information for the McPherson Financial Group, you can find it at theartofmoneyradio.com.
And that's the trouble with a heartbreak. It's gonna hang.
Art McPherson, know you're a big fan of country music, big Jason Aldean fan.
I am. I love Jason Aldean. He sings some good stuff.
His new song is called Trouble with a Heartbreak. New double album called Macon, Georgia. It is now available. So Jason Aldean has joined other artists like Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Stevie Nicks that have sold their catalogs for big money. And in Jason Aldean's case, he got over $100 million for it.
It's almost like a retirement plan. It's like, okay, well, if I own this is always like money in the bank over here. So honestly, man, I didn't even know that I wanted to really sell it. I just kind of put some feelers out to see if anybody was interested. They threw numbers out that I couldn't really turn down. And it's really hard to let go of those things. As artists, we want those. That's our baby.
I guess all he had to do was thinking about his grandkids, kids who are set for life now.
It's hard to turn down $100 million, but it's probably worth $1 billion, over time. But for him right now, turning that down was probably, he knows if he invests that and does a decent deal with it, he's going to be set forever. And he's still touring, and he's still writing, and he's still singing. So,
yeah, I hope he makes it. Man, I'm pulling for him.
I'm worried about his financial well-being.
Art, that does bring up the question, though, because, while Jason Aldean has that $100 million nest egg now by selling his catalog, what about your clients? Like when you sit down with us and you talk to us about lasting income with our nest egg, what are some of the topics that we're going to cover initially?
Well, one of the things that our nest egg that's similar to that, instead of it being $100 million, it's probably $1, $2, $3 million, So our discussions are the same conversation, except you're not being chased down by unrelated relatives trying to get you to invest in their ideas.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to come his way. But we're trying to make your retirement income last for the rest of your retirement life. So we don't know exactly how long that is. So there are some unknowns. We also don't know what's going to happen. We call it the curveballs of life here at McPherson Financial Group, but are you going to have a health issue that's going to be a major problem? Are you going to have a memory issue, like Alzheimer's or dementia? Are you going to have a spouse that has a stroke or a heart attack or something comes up in your world that we can't see or foresee? Or maybe you have to help a child or a grandchild because they have a major medical emergency, or they have a financial emergency, or they have a real big curveball in their life where they have a devastating divorce. Those are the things that take place. So it's trying to make sure we've got money set aside and carved out that no matter what life may bring you, you can kind of ride through that. You're still going to have all the emotional and all the things that you have to deal with emotionally, but at least the finances can be there to provide the financial security.
You made a good point there with Jason Aldean, but also, if we come into a large lump sum of money, how many cousins come out of the woodwork, how many family members you have, and everybody wants you to invest in their restaurant. Everybody has a restaurant idea.
Right. And I've heard Shaq say this. We've heard, Jamie say this when I was interviewing Jamie Foxx just about a month ago. Everybody thinks, and Cedric the Entertainer, he brought this up too. He said, everybody thinks that your idea is a $1 billion idea. And in reality, you may have a great idea, but an idea is just an idea. Now you need a whole team of people to make that become a reality. And sometimes the actual cost of doing the reality of it is more expensive than the product itself. So, your idea may be wonderful, but the actual delivery of your idea doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And you don't even know that. You don't know that until you go through that process. And that's why a lot of these wealthy people that have the resources they have are hit up all the time, because in that other family member's mind, it is a wonderful, great idea, I'm sure they think it is, but it just doesn't work, and it financially doesn't work.
Luke McCarty, I tried to hit up Aldean for about $3 million to get your food truck back rolling again.
Oh, gosh, I know. Well, it doesn't take, that would help, but the failure of my food truck when I lived in Texas
wasn't a failure.
Was manpower. It was only good if us three partners were making it, and then we'd have to teach somebody else to do it, and then you'd have to hire people to stay overnight, and so manpower was our issue. But he has bigger issues to fry than losing a couple thousand on a food truck.
Hey, speaking of team, here's Jason Aldean talking about the importance of having the right team.
That's the key to any successful business, whether that be my music career and my team as far as that goes with management and my producers and my record company and publicists and just all the people that are involved in that. So yeah, surrounding yourself with the right team, the right people that have the same vision as you, that's the key.
And we know each week here on The Art of Money, we talk to Coach Julie, we talk to Luke McCarty, but Art, tell me about some of the other team members that make it work at the McPherson Financial Group.
We've got a lot in our team. You've got Susan, who is one of our important team members. She is always dealing with the financial companies, the institutions themselves, where she's making sure the money that's supposed to be coming over comes over. She's a very big part of it. Everybody gets a chance to meet Pam when they first walk in. She's our receptionist, but Pam also answers the phone a lot. We also have Patrick, who's kind of a back office support person, but now Patrick is moved to the front side of the business as well, where he's helping to do some deliveries when we have new placements of products, things like that. So he's on the front side now too. And now we have Kathy, who used to be a client of ours, and she's come in and she was working part-time with us, but now she's just loving it so much. She was supposed to only work for us about a year. She's just totally enjoying it. So she's been working with us full-time now. And now we have Eric, who's been with us the longest out of the team. And Eric is a part of our administration back office side, and he does a lot of our reports and he does a lot of our calculations for income distributions, things along those lines. Then we also have Mike Kinnett here, who's not here very often. He's here 4 or 5 days a month, but he is here. He's got his LLM in taxation, and he's also an attorney up there in Maryland. So he has a lot. He has a legal hat, he has a tax hat, and he also has a fiduciary hat. So it's nice to have him around. Then we have Mark, who's our tax expert in the office, and he's got all of his wisdom for tax planning. But that's a little bit of the team. And then, of course, Coach Julie, she's kind of like our CFO. So she does a lot of our operational dollars. So money coming in, money going out. So she does a lot more than just talk about sports on the radio.
You can meet the entire team at artofmoneyradio.com. And Mike Kinnett may only be there a couple of days a month, but his presence sticks around 7 days a week at the McPherson Financial Group. Hey, before we get out of here, Art McPherson, as we had the chance to talk to Jason Aldean, his new double album, Macon, Georgia, is now available. And we were talking about music, and I had a question for you, Art.
Good friend of ours, a gentleman by the name of Art McPherson. He loves his Harleys, loves his boat, got an incredible sound system on there. So when we're looking at the album, when Art's on his bike, in your mind, Jason Aldean, what song does he need to play while he's on his bike, while he's on his boat?
I would say Small Town Small. It's a song written by another one of our Georgia guys, Brantley Gilbert. And Brantley sent me this song. And, to me, man, it was just something that, with everything that's kind of been going on in our country and the world over the last couple of years, it was just a song that really kind of hit me in a certain way of like, man, I want to say that. I want to say what that song saying right there. That's exactly how I feel, and it was no doubt I wanted to cut the song. So, it's a little bit of a jam too. So I would say, if you're getting on your bike or on the boat and just want something to crank, I would say Small Town Small.
Let's keep the red dirt roads red dirt, keep the little white church, keeping God first, keep dragging that cloud.
Small Town Small. Art McPherson. Luke, tell me.
Love it.
Tell me he's on his phone right now downloading it as we speak.
Love it. Yep, that'll be in the playlist. I promise. Since you called me out, I will put that in the playlist.
So I was trying to think of the best way, and I had like 10 seconds to come up with the best way to describe Art McPherson. I'm like, he loves Harleys, and he's got a boat, and he loves riding his bike, and he's very good in the McPherson Financial Group, but in his downtime, here's what he loves. Was that okay?
That was perfect. I loved it.
Thanks for listening. Want more from Art McPherson of McPherson Financial Group? Find us online at artofmoneyradio.com. We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Securities offered through World Equity Group, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Investment advisory services offered through ProStatus Group, LLC. McPherson Financial Group and ProStatus Group, LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by World Equity Group, Inc. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Investment financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. Art McPherson is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Arthur McPherson, Florida Insurance License number A174725.
Today's show has been a work of art.